Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Leon. I'm a physiotherapist living and working in the lockdown city of Melbourne. The goal of this channel is to provide an insight into the world of private practice physiotherapy for the benefit of those looking to get into the industry. Now, treating patients when you first start as a physio is bloody tough. There comes a time in every new physio's career when they've got to see their first few patients. You'll be working in a clinic, you'll roll up to work, and you'll see those first couple popped in the diary for you. It's a super exciting time, but it is pretty stressful and can be pretty tough to begin with. If I reflect back on my time as a new grad physio, I remember feeling like a fraud. Like, why would these people come and see me? What do I know? Like, I'm only a new grad. I can't believe that they're paying money to come and see me. I haven't done any PD. I've never seen this condition before. I don't know how to treat it. It's a pretty frightening time to begin with because these people are struggling and are in pain and need your help and need you to sort them out. And, you might feel as if you don't really know what you're doing. One of the big things that hit me when I was starting out was that I can't believe people are going to spend $80, $90, $100 to see me. Like, that seems just like so much money when I don't really know what I'm doing. I've never seen this type of problem before. I don't know how to treat it, but you're still going to pay the money to come and see me. That was a hard thing to get over in the beginning, but as my confidence grew and as my knowledge grew, that withers away. And I remember having, all sorts of questions when I started out. What type of patient were they? Who's paying for this? Is it Medicare? Is it private health? What type of problem have they got? What if I miss something? Or what if I make their condition worse? What if I misdiagnose their problem? And what if they don't like me and give bad feedback to the clinic? These were all the questions that were running through my head, when I first started treating. And I think that's normal for most physios when you first come out. You shouldn't be expected when you first come out to be a gold standard, the best physio ever. That takes time to develop. And I think that's important to understand when you first start out. Now, my first ever patient that I saw was a medial collateral ligament injury in the knee. She's a 60-year-old lady who had tripped and injured her knee. And I saw her maybe 1 or 2 weeks afterwards. She'd seen the doctor and then got referred to physio to help treat her problem. And the things that I really struggled with were the treatment. What sort of hands-on therapy or taping should I do? Answering her questions. So how long was this going to take for her to get better? What did she have to do? What did I have to do? How many times did she need to see me? When did she have to come back? These were all things that I just didn't know how to answer. And then I really had no clue of what type of rehab to give her as well. Like, you don't really learn the exact rehab program for a 60, 70-year-old lady who's torn her medial collateral ligament on her knee. Working through that was a real challenge too. And so in the end, me and my boss, we co-treated this patient, and then they ended up having a good rehab plan. He talked through how long it was going to take to get better, and then when she should catch up with me again, and then how many times she would likely need to see me. And, it all went pretty smoothly, but having my boss there was super helpful. And I think that case is reflective of the general struggles that I had coming through as a new grad physio. Some of the biggest challenges are explaining the conditions to the patient. That's super difficult when you've never done it before. Getting your timelines right, that's really hard as well when you don't have an idea of how long problems take to get better. Prescribing the right amount of rehab, so the amount that's not going to flare them up, that's appropriate for that stage of healing and is applicable for that type of injury, all really tough things. Knowing when to refer, that was one that I really struggled with. I definitely held on to some patients longer than I should have when they should have been sent back to the GP or off to a specialist or something like that. Knowing what to tell people to stop doing and knowing the right types of questions to ask to figure out if they're doing something that's making their problem worse. This part, I think, is especially important because as physios, we're very pro activity, we're very pro exercise, we're very pro conditioning, we're very pro engagement, but sometimes those things can make the problem worse. And knowing how to tease that out of a subjective and then strip those things away is definitely a skill that takes time to build up. And then explaining chronic pain. Now, I'm going to do a video a bit later on about chronic pain, but that was one of the more challenging things for sure coming out of uni. But all that to say, I've learned a lot of lessons over the years. Here are my tips for when you're starting out to help manage those first couple of patients. Number one, know where everything is in the clinic. If you need tape, if you need cream, if you need forms, if you need paper, if you need pens, know exactly where all that stuff is so you don't get caught floundering trying to find different things. Number two, use an anatomy app. Anatomy apps are amazing when it comes to explaining conditions. If you get caught not knowing how to properly explain the condition, you can at least explain the anatomy. And you can explain what needs to get stronger, what we need to calm down, what we need to support in order for them to get better. The anatomy app that I like is Complete Anatomy. I think it's a subscription model now, but that's a cracker. I'll put it in the link below. Go back to your healing and strengthening timelines because it informs what you tell the patient. You know, how long is this going to take to heal? Or how long is this going to take me to recover? Well, if recovery is based on healing and then strengthening, if you know what those timelines are, you can tell the patient those timelines and then book your appointments accordingly. Rebook quickly and research for your next session. So this is important because if this is the first time you've ever seen something, you want to know how it responds immediately to the treatment that you're giving it. So catching up with someone sooner rather than later is definitely a better approach. That patient will also be fresh in your mind so you can go away and research that type of problem and then plan your next treatment with them. Do double appointments. So double appointments are super helpful. Get the senior clinicians or your boss or someone to come in with you in the session while you treat them so that you can bounce ideas off each other, make sure that your diagnosis is right, and just have someone else check over the things that you're doing. This will do two things. It'll be an amazing learning opportunity for you, but it'll also validate with the patient that you care about doing the right thing by them. So when you say, just give me 2 seconds, I'm just going to go get someone else to have a quick squiz at this to make sure we're on the right page, that's amazing when it comes to patient buy-in. You'll also get the opportunity to watch an expert do their thing. And one of the best things for a developing physio is to try and emulate what the experts do. And then lastly, it's don't make the same mistake twice. You'll stuff up all the time and you'll do the wrong thing, you'll assess the wrong problem, but make sure you learn from these mistakes. Go back and research the conditions that you're trying to treat and learn the gold standard for treating them and then act on that next time you see that problem. Don't get caught in the loop of thinking, oh, shoulders are so hard, I'm always bad at shoulders, or ankles, oh geez, they just take so long to get better. You know, learn the gold standard methods for getting problems better and then do that in the clinic. Anyway, guys, I hope that was useful. I will catch you in the next one. Ciao.